It was a weekend of black draws for almost three teams that have drawn. Chelsea drew 1-1, Aston Villa the same, and also West Ham had to draw. And remember, yesterday we talked about that if you give the right, of course, score for West Ham and Bournemouth, you got a gift. But some people went ahead and say a draw, we don't know, maybe 4-4, 5-5, you did not specify. So that one made us again to carry forward our, of course, package for that for the winners. I still carry on. Today we shall also have one for the discussions, the right score. Just remember you got your package await you. I went through all the comment section and I saw some people just say draw, some people gave the score, but of course the game ended 0-0. Yes, I was also taking also a note of the time that the message arrived, because others may hope to put it on night and say that I gave the right score. But remember, the posting time is always indicated. Thanks so much for that trying. I believe today it will be much better than yesterday. And of course, at the end, I will be giving that a very game so that when you get through, I'm available and I will be noting down the people's comments. So today, of course, is also a big day in Premier League, and of course, the game that will decide whether the Gunners will be the title or the Premier League champions this very week. And of course, they will be taking on Tottenham Hotspur, and of course, Hotspur is at home. And remember, they also had no win in the last 5 games. And remember, they also changed the new coach, and maybe the new coach wants to impress. We are expecting a lot of goals. We are expecting to see the dramatic move for today. We don't know where it will land, the 3 points, and maybe they will share. We all don't know what would be the outcome about these two teams. So, Tottenham in the last 5 games lost 3, drew 2, and Arsenal won 2, drew 2, and lost 1 in the last 5 games. And of course, still pile pressure on them that if they want to contain this Premier League, of course, and title this very season. So, in these 2 games, Arsenal and Tottenham, the only safest way to play is over 1.5. I know some people will say no, it's a must win for Arsenal. Tottenham can surprise, so we are supposed to play safe. It's the same thing that we saw yesterday, that over trusting Chelsea and Aston Villa landed us and points were shared. So all in all, today, to be safer, we shall go with over 1.5 in that game. Then AC Milan will be taking on Parma. Of course, if you to look at these Serie games, always things do happen, and the surprises we saw also yesterday, Como beating Juventus at really their own home, 2-0. Things do happen. And of course, if you look at AC Milan itself, in the last 5 games, they won 3, drew 2, no loss. And Parma managed also to pick 2 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw in the last 5 games. Now, sometimes these teams, they look on form, but once they meet with this mid-table team, things do change. And of course, still all in all in this game, we are not going to trust anyone with a full win. Is we shall give this very team, AC Milan versus Parma, over 1.5. Yeah. Then the third game in this very ticket is AS Roma versus Criminals. And still these ones, we are in Serie A League first. Now, AS Roma in the last 5 games, they won 2, drew 2, lost 1, and Criminals lost 3 games, drew 2, and no single win in the last 5 games, and of which is quite alarming. But if you to look at these two teams, they've ever met, but AS Roma always on topping it. So in this very game, we look as to be appropriate there we're expecting at least to see goals in these games, and the right one for us, we are expecting to go with is over 1.5. So this is a fast that got over 1.5, and we know that we have played safely, because now teams that we play with a straight wins, they're giving us heart attack. We saw what happened between Osasuna and Real Madrid game. Things are not going as expected. Borussia Dortmund and RB Leipzig, also the game ended there 2-1, and of course Dortmund suffer a defeat. Games, things are happening. Lens, the other side in French League, were defeated by Monaco, coming from behind and scoring 3 goals, and which is really not a good sign for some of the teams that are fighting for the titles this very season. So this is our first ticket. Now back to the second one. Of course, we shall go straight to Netherlands. Feyenoord versus Telstar. Now, Feyenoord in the last 5 games, of course, won 3, lost 2, and of course, you know, they are swinging there on top. And then Telstar drew 3, lost 2, and there's no single win in the last 5 games. So this one, we actually have to assess that it would be a little bit easy for Feyenoord, being at home, the home advantage, and of course them being on 4. Still, we expect in this game to end over 1.5. We expect goals, so appropriate feel is good for this game. Basing on the statistic, you see it's over 1.5 suit this very game. Then FC Porto versus Rayo Ave. We know that FC Porto is doing well, and Sporting yesterday picked up a win against Monterrey, and that one looking that they're outstanding, performing this very season very well. I thought after them selling Gyökeres to Arsenal, things would actually be difficult for them, but Sporting CP has proven to be a very, very tough team there, and of course they're leading that table at the moment as FC Porto plan to play today. And of course, FC Porto in the last 5 games won 3, lost 1, and draw 1, and of which puts them in their own positions. And Rayo Ave in the last 5 games, they lost all, giving them a lot of hopes. But I'm telling you, once you see the order, this is not clear. Still, all in all, appropriate. Better to be safe. We shall go with over 1.5 still in this very game. Then the last game for today, under this is the third. Of course, a ticket is Livingstone versus Rangers. Now, this is a game that I want to see that Rangers scores many goals, because if you look at Rangers' performance recent, they have not lost any match. Actually, they won 3, drew 2, but Livingstone did not pick any win in the last 5 games, with only a single draw now, and they lost 4, so which is quite alarming. And of course their position, so in this game we see that Rangers is having the upper hand of collecting all these 3 points. But all in all, we say it's soccer, anything can happen. To be safe, we saw the teams that actually doing quite bad but also ended up scoring goals and surprising the other team. So still, for us to be safe today, we just hope for that. We're going with over 1.5, and all these 4 tickets, that all these 2 tickets which got all the 6 games, we want with over 1.5 first today to be safe. The first and the second one, which is actually going to be a very good one for them there. Now, the game that will get us talking, it's going to be coming, of course, from Syria as well, and that is Atlanta versus Napoli. Now, I want you to to be real in this game. What I want from this game, let me make it very, very, very clear to you, is I want you to give me the scores. I want you to give me the scores of this very game, but I don't want you to tell me this one to win, this one to maybe to lose, or it's going to be a draw. I want that right score so that we're able actually to know who is genius here, because the prize is there. And of course, I will not mention it, but the person who got it right, I'll make sure that I get back to you. And of course, you bear testimony to others. And I'll wait Atlanta versus Napoli. Just drop there your scores, what they think about this game, how you think it will end, because it's just opinion. Get it scrolling. And we said winners never quit. Yesterday, I was unable to post, of course, on TikTok, but hopefully today I'll drop something and you add up on that. Since we got many games coming up, and Crystal Palace, Nottingham Forest, they're all still there. So we said that our winners never quit, and we shall continue with our conversations as the days move on. I wish you all a lovely Sunday and stay blessed. And thank you so much for loving my channel, and thanks so much for showing me love. I love you guys all, and continue sharing, like inviting others. And for newcomers, thank you so much for joining. And this is the home of champion. Just know that a day sometimes don't if things don't move well, some days things get better. So I wish you guys a blessed Sunday.